Putin News Now. What can be done to prevent Putin from escaping justice in Ukraine? The future of international justice is in the balance, according to one of Ukraine's leading war crime attorneys. Gyundas Mammadov chanted, murder, torture, illegal detentions, and persecution of people based on ethnicity. While working as a Ukrainian prosecutor from 2016 to 2021, he detailed the investigations he oversaw into Russian atrocities, first in Crimea after Moscow's annexation and then in the Donbass. The list of horrible acts of cruelty could go on for many more paragraphs. Ukraine's former deputy prosecutor general, Azerbaijani-born lawyer Mammadov, 48, and his war crimes team opened 30,000 criminal cases against Russians before he resigned. When asked if he was demoted or sidelined because of his involvement in a daring sting operation to entrap mercenaries of the paramilitary Wagner Group, Mammadov remained silent. This operation was a secret and had been frowned upon and disrupted by Andriy Yermak, President Volodymyr Zelensky's top aide. However, Ukraine would benefit from his return if he was to oversee efforts to secure accountability and justice for the war in the face of complex legal and political hurdles. Civil society groups were outraged by Mammadov's departure because of the way he had coordinated and organized investigations into war crimes, such as the investigation into the shooting down of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 over Donetsk in 2014 by separatists supported by Russia. Mammadov, an ingenious investigator and lawyer, had worked with the investigative journalism organization Bellingcat to unravel the mystery of flight MH17. Before Russia's full-scale invasion last year, he says, the war crimes were bad enough, but now, the scale is horrifying. Attacking civilians, residential areas, medical facilities, or educational institutions is totally unacceptable. He emphasized the need for international and Ukrainian authorities to bring those responsible for these atrocities to justice. Since 2014, Ukrainian prosecutors have opened over 100,000 war crime cases, including 76,000 related to the invasion. Mammadov supports smaller cases being heard in Ukrainian courts, while he supports the International Criminal Court, ICC, hearing cases involving crimes against humanity and genocide against about 20 high-ranking Russian officials, or big fish, as he put it. Mammadov has praised the deportation and transfer of children from the occupied territories of Ukraine to the Russian Federation, as well as the recent arrest warrants issued for Russian President Vladimir Putin and Maria Lvova-Belova, Russia's so-called Commissioner for Children's Rights. But he thinks they're just the beginning for ICC prosecutors gathering evidence for bigger cases. To punish Russia's top leadership for the crime of aggression and other offenses, he said Ukraine and the international community need to establish a legal mechanism, probably a hybrid international court that also involves Ukrainian courts. His proposal calls for a judicial chamber that is both fully international and hybrid in nature, bringing together Ukrainian prosecutors and international specialists to conduct investigations and provide procedural guidance. That, in turn, would encourage the growth of Ukraine's criminal justice system and the passage of much-needed reforms in the country's laws. Mammadov has publicly warned against a tribunal established by a treaty between interested states, as was the case with the Nuremberg trial, or a tribunal shaped by the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, the European Parliament, and Ukraine, as is the case with the option advocated by European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. Both, says Mammadov, would be localized approaches that risk being derided as winners' tribunals, for not having widespread international support. He believes a court established by the United Nations General Assembly would be preferable, but doesn't think it's politically feasible or likely. Furthermore, Mammadov's extensive background means he could aid Ukraine's efforts to construct these war crime cases. International law experts hold him in high esteem, and he has a cordial working relationship with International Criminal Court prosecutors, who sing his praises for his doggedness, experience, finesse, and honesty. They also praised the innovative methods his war crimes unit employed to track down criminals, including the use of open-source intelligence, satellite imagery, geospatial data, and cell phone coordinates.